Good afternoon, adventurers. Wow, here we are. It's Friday. It's the Friday before Christmas, and we're at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, and it's John's Dungeon Corner. That's right. Ooh, it's the Friday before Christmas, and you're still out doing some shopping. I know you are. So it's time to come down to the Collective. Today, tomorrow are the last 2 days of the 12 days of Christmas. Today, it's all about, well, my favorite subject, dice. That's right. Buy 2 individual dice, sets of dice, anything would do with dice, and you get one free. I mean, come on. This is it. It's the trilogy. It's the trifecta. You buy 2, you get one free. Happy Friday. Merry Christmas, Sarah, all the way from St. Thomas, where it's probably warmer than here in Florida. Woo! Yes. It's a happy day. Today is Dice Friday. Buy 2 sets of dice or 2 individual dice, and you get the third one for free. 3! We like 3. 3. That's right. That's all right. So that's what's going on here today on the 11th day of Christmas, on the 12th day of Christmas, because there's 12 of them. On the 12th day of Christmas, which is tomorrow, miniatures. It's miniatures. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I take that back. Well, that's what I'm going to get tomorrow. But tomorrow is take any 2-for-1 offer and use it. So you can come in tomorrow and use any 2-for-1 offer that's been offered in the previous 11 days. So the miniatures, the comic books, the dice that are today. I mean, just anything. The paintbrushes, the painting tools, terrain, Games Workshop. I mean, it's just the board games coming tomorrow on the 12th day of Christmas. And you can take any of those 2-for-1 offers and use it tomorrow. It doesn't get any better than that. But today is happy day because it's Friday and it's buy 2, get 1 dice. So 3 sets of dice for the price of 2. It's very good for you. All right. So look, all kinds of stuff came in. All kinds of stuff is left. It's the Friday before Christmas. I brought up a couple things just to kind of just like throw them out here. A couple. I mean, you've seen the Dragonlance Shadow the Dragon Queen Deluxe Edition. It's awesome. It rocks. It's got the board game in it. It's got miniatures in it. It's got a really neat Dungeon Master screen in it. It's got the Dragonlance Shadow the Queen third cover in the book. Is a hardcover is in there also. So it's a lot. You get a lot of bang in that box. I'm gonna tell you, it is just amazing. It looks beautiful. Okay, so and up here I got some miniature bricks, and you can just buy a box, or you can just buy some single miniatures, or you can get miniatures off the wall. But the cool thing is, you buy 2, you get the third one free. I was gonna bring a third one out because it's kind of crazy, but yeah. So you buy 2, you get the third one free. I mean, come on. Now that would be tomorrow because everything is a 2-for-1. So I could do miniatures. You can come and get Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You can buy 2, get 1 free. You can get dice. Well, today's the dice day. You really should come today because those dice are going. And because I know I'm going to be getting me some of them suckers. So today is dice day. 2 individuals, get the third one free. I like it. Get 2. Get the third one free. Buy 2. Get the third one free. Buy 2. Get the third one free. Get my drift? It's a happy day because it's dice day, I will tell you. Yes. So here we are on the Friday before Christmas. Wow. Well, Merry Christmas, my love. That's the wife. The wife has come on. My wife has come on. You guys have seen her before. She's been on previous shows as a guest, a guest star DM assistant, or as a DM. Sarah's been on the show a couple times. You've met my son. You've got to see him and just players in general from the game. Some of the game masters, Andy and Anthony, and you got to meet. Just a bunch of different people. Yes. They do make great stocking stuffers, I will tell you. Sarah is absolutely right. She has probably never said anything more truer in her life than when she says there is no such thing as too many dice. That is the fundamental truth of life. Just the need for more dice bags. Exactly. But look, talking about dice bags. You know what? I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere, anybody. Wait. You got to see this. Oh, I forgot the dice bag. Hold on. I'll be right back. The dice bag of dice bags of dice bags. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. It's the Mammoth Jamma. Bum, bum, bum. It is the dice bag. And it holds, Brendan and I have guessed at 400 or 500 dice in here. It is by Forged, and it's got all the different pockets. Look at this. My whole hand goes down. I mean, all the way down here. That's how deep that bag is. All right? That's just awesome. Willie! Welcome to the show. Willie up in the cold state of New York. Welcome to the show. So this dice bag is just awesome. It has the individual pouches for dice. So you can put all your pouches. You can either put them in here by sets, which, well, by the type of, I think it would probably be better. D10s, 20s, your 4s, your 6s, your 8s, your 12s, all in here. Look at that. 500 dice. Do you know how many sets of 3 that would take? Many. But that's okay. Coming by the whole wall, it'll probably fit in there. I love that bag. It's a soft. I'm gonna say it's like a soft faux leather on the outside, or maybe even a soft leather. I'm not quite sure. And the inside, it's a nice velvet almost kind of thing. Yeah, very nice. With lined pockets, they're sturdy pockets, and then a nice drawstring with 2 D20. How appropriate. 2 D20s at the end of them. So there you go, Sarah. I think that would be the perfect bag for somebody who has lots of dice, who is about to get lots of dice. And or you can just start out and just know that one day you're just gonna have this many dice. You start out with the buy 2, get 1 free set of dice, and you slowly accumulate to where it fits in here. You start in something simple and you end up with that. Or, you know what, just go for broke. Knowing that one day you're going to have all those dice, just get the big bag right off the bat and go for it. That's what I say. Go big or go home. What the heck, right? Nah, it's all good. You can do it however you want. Can't get too crazy with it. But we're having a good time. And these are really cool, too. This is really neat. I think these are, so you get a die, right? It's a die bag that can hold dice. You can put like probably 2 or 3 sets of dice in here. So if you're traveling, you can just hook it to your backpack, put the dice in here, put the special dice in here. Like if you get those really nice, like gemstone ones, ooh yeah, and you want to keep them nice and safe, you put them in here, and this is nice and soft and squishy. Even if it falls to do it, it'll keep them nice and safe. So it's a D20 dice bag, a D20 that carries dice. I mean, you can't beat that. Right? A D20 that carries dice. And they got plenty of colors up to, but we got purple, we got white, we got pink out here real quick, just to kind of show off a couple of the colors. Hey, don't forget, even though it's a simple little dice. I'm back. Can you see me? Here I am. I rolled a nat 1. I'm back though. Nat 1. Oh, I got lost. Your character, Can everybody see me okay now? Oh my gosh. Are you guys there? Say something. Hey. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Anyway, okay. Yes, that is my dream. A stocking full of dice, a big one, like my son has, a huge one that's just full of nothing but dice. Hoorah. Yes, that'd be awesomeness. Okay. So, y'all good. I'm good to go. All right. I'm back. We had a malfunction. Too much fun. Too much fun. You know what? I'm going to put this keyboard way over there so I can't touch it. That's all I need to. Okay, there. That keyboard's way over there. All right. So now I can lean over. I think I hit something and went boop. So here I be. But Danny came back and saved it. I went from a natural 1 to a 19. Yeah. All right. So we were talking about dice. Yeah, the dice bag is awesome. And dice make wonderful stocking. Listen, stocking stuffers, wow. There are so many things that you can use. There's miniature, the bricks. I mean, you can get just one of the boxes and put it in there. You can get dice, fluffy dice. There's other dice bags. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that you can use for stocking stuffers. And don't forget, a gift certificate goes a long way, a long way. I mean, I love gift certificates, especially from the collective. So don't forget. Okay, so just to kind of recap, and then we'll talk about it. Yay, Jason! Welcome, Jason. It's good to see you, brother. I was just talking about all the 2 remaining days of Christmas, and dice bags and dice and dice. And today it just happens to be buy 2 dice and get 1 free. So 2, get 1 for free. Dice, you never have enough. And then tomorrow's buy any 2. You can get any of the sales. So from comic books, to board games, to Dungeons and Dragons products, the dice, the miniatures, and you can buy 2 and get 1 free tomorrow. Okay, so that's the 12th day of Christmas, because that's it. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and after that, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. So anyway, so since the year's kind of finishing out, and this will be like the first to the last dungeon corner of the year. First and foremost, of course, thank you to everybody who took the time out of their schedules in their life to join me. That's right, Jason. You can never have enough dice to join me on the show. I know Fridays are kind of a crazy day, and most of you have popped in and out throughout the year, and it's always been awesome because without the people, there's nothing, right? You know, it's kind of cool. So I want to say thank you to all of you who have ever, even if you just looked at it afterwards, because it's up on the collective Facebook, and you can go up there and just look at it anytime you want. So that's always up there. Now, and for those of you who came out, a special thank you, because I know you came out, you kind of hung out, got on YouTube. We just got to ad-lib everything as we go. There's no script, and you just got to get put on the spot sometimes. So thank you for all that. Love you guys for all that. And yeah, so, and I was talking about, I'm actually going to talk about that, what's going to happen next year. I kind of gave you a hint last show, but we're going to reformat the show. Still the same time, 1 o'clock, but it's going to be formatted a little differently. So it's going to kind of be in a series. I'll still be answering questions. So I'll probably still be introducing new product, and then I'll be answering a question, and then I'm going to get into the topic of the day. So that's going to be really cool. It's going to be a little bit more formatted. Oh, hey, I love entertaining. You guys know that, but thank you guys for being entertained. And to all the ones who aren't here, thank you for allowing me to entertain you. So, because it's great. It's neat when I have somebody talking back, and it's kind of like an interactive show, and it's not just me talking about stuff for you to see later. I like that. There's really no format to the show. Even next year, it's still going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to try to, the formatting is going to be more about when someone comes back to look at it, when it's up there, it'll have a theme. And then whatever the question was and whatever else we talked about, new product and stuff like that, that's just the icing on the cake. The cake will be, the actual format. And like I told you, I'll tell you this, it's going to be about putting together your first campaign, running the game as a dungeon master. First month is going to be dedicated to being a dungeon master and all the things that it goes into. Nah, I love doing it because it brings new people. I get to talk to people. I get to meet people, and they say, hey, I saw you're the guy who was on the show. So what about this? And that's how it all rolls. And then they come to collective, and they get stuff, and the collective stays in business, and I have a place to come and get my stuff and play, and all my friends are still here. So this is good. See, it's a reciprocating kind of thing. So you just got to roll that first little pebble down and get to have lunch at the bottom, right? Or if you're up north, you throw that little snowball, it becomes an avalanche. So take your pick. But yeah. So it's been a great year. We talked about a lot of things. I answered a lot of questions. Thanks to everybody who sent me questions and wanted to pick my brain on certain things. I brought Antonio to answer some questions, and we went through a lot of stuff. This last year has been kind of crazy with, COVID's still kind of lurking around and stuff, and things the way they were. But hey, Dungeons and Dragons always makes it better. It really does. It's like I've always said, the game really brings people together, whether it's your family, your friends, a combination thereof. New people can become your lifelong friends by playing D&D. And it's great for everybody, from little kids all the way up to professional athletes and older folks. And that it brings them all together. I mean, I told you about the Cleveland Brown guys that play football, professionally play football, and have time to play Dungeons and Dragons. The fullback is the one who set all that up for them, and he's got a couple of guys right now that are playing that got interested, and it all started out with a T-shirt. The guy was wearing a Stranger Things T-shirt, and ta-da, evolved into a game. So, hey, anybody can play. All ages, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of fun, and the wonderful thing is it builds camaraderie, and like I said, some of these people will become your lifelong friends. Some will come and go. That's the way it is. And you may run through a lot of games. That's the half the fun, is that you're not really stuck into one game, and there's a lot of different types of characters and adventures that you can go on. And you can go on little adventures and long, drawn-out campaign type adventures where there's a solid theme where you can just jump around like we do on Wednesdays. Every couple of Wednesdays it's this, and then it jumps to that DM, and you can do it. And you can learn it while playing. You can learn how to DM. So you can start out with one little die and end up with a whole bag of dice. You can start out with one little fig and then have whole boxes of figs. That's the way it always starts out, with just a few. It's that first step, like in anything. It all starts with that first step. And then it goes from there. That first die roll, no. That first crit, let's see, can we do this? No. 17, but no, not quite enough. And then you just go from there. You fall in love with it, and you run with it, and you get like-minded people, and you have fun with it. And that's the magic. I think if anything we'll talk about is the magic of having fun playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? Because somebody said, well, you've been playing for a long time. Don't you ever get tired of it? Oh, no, never. First of all, the game has evolved. Like a lot of things. It's evolved. It has its ups and downs, like everything else. But it's really taken off these last couple of years. It's really made a leap forward. And I think it's like there's a rumor about next year, sometime soon, they're going to release Dungeons and Dragons 1, D&D 1, like we're in 5e. It's going to be 1. And I've seen some of the stuff on it. And, and as always, I think you should sit there and check it out for yourself and see what you want to do with it. I mean, even though 3.5 is advanced and we've moved on to 5, we still play 3.5. And there's people that still play the original Dungeons and Dragons. It's there for you. And it's always been supported because you can always integrate. Remember, these Gary Gygax and Ernie and Dan Arneson, they always said these are only guidelines for you to have fun with. So if you wanted to take some of these rules and build it, and that's that homebrew campaign you hear a lot of people talk about. It's your campaign. You can do whatever you want with it. Just make sure that the players understand where you're going with it and what they can and can't do. And then the sky's the limit, right? So this 1E is coming out. A lot of people like the 5E. There's been other iterations of 3.5 and the original, what they call 2 and 1, the little books. They came in a little box that were no bigger than, oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, they're smaller than this comic book. They were like, fold this, take it 8.5 by 11, fold it in half, and staple a bunch of them together, and that's what the books were, literally with a cardboard cover. Black and white, no color. Now, your Dungeon Master Guide looks like this. It's hardback. You can download it digitally. It comes in full color. Oh, look at that. My favorite, a beholder. Anyway, so you get the point. It's evolved a lot. It comes out in box sets like this with board games in it already and miniatures in it. The Player's Handbook evolved from a thing called Men and Myth and Monsters to the Player's Handbook, and full color illustrations, I mean, that's beautiful artwork. There's the kind of artwork that if you could get like a nice canvas of it, you could put up on the wall framing, you'd have a gorgeous picture sitting there. Okay, so that's the artists that they've hired to do these paintings, these drawings are amazing. The Monster Man, Monsters of the Universe, I tell you, a lot of people say, well, that's just like no, it's not. It's got a lot of history and monsterology, as I like to call it, because it talks about the monsters, how they've evolved, how they act, why they act that way, how they try to integrate in society, how their society is built. It talks about a lot of different things. We've got so many different worlds out there. We've got Krynn, we've got Faerun, we've got, well, Krynn is for Dragonlance. We've got the Spelljammer universe, the Sunless Citadel, the Critical Role world. And you can actually put all that together in a gorgeous campaign if you wanted to. But we talked about that too. So Dungeons & Dragons has evolved a lot. The dice have gotten bigger too. I mean, there's bigger dice than this. They started out with these little dice. You got these dice, the little dice like this. And then they send you a crayon. And you would take that crayon and you would fill in the colors so you could see them. They were plastic. All right. So, and they weren't pretty. They didn't have stuff in them. They weren't the only numbers the only way you could see if it was a yellow die is you take like a brown, you get a yellow set of dice and they give you like a brown or blue or red crayon. You just fill it in yourself. That's the way it was. And then it evolved into what you see today, where they got cool little things. They're made out of metal. They're made out of gemstones. I mean, these things are gorgeous. Amethyst dice that are precision cut to roll, and balanced to roll. You've got fully solid metal dice, multicolored, swirl. I mean, oh my gosh, just take your pick. There's even 24 karat gold dice out there if you look hard enough. If that's your thing, hey, there they are. Okay, so there's something for everyone. And we've had a great time. Here at the Collective, Jason's on there, so he'll tell you once we used to buy, each of us would buy one of these, and we'd have like a fantasy, a monster fantasy draft. We'd open them all up and we put them out there by size. And then we just start going around. So we would start here and go all the way around, just like fantasy football. We'd go around, everybody would pick a monster, and then that guy would start and we'd come back. And we just pick them until they were all gone. And if you can just imagine, like 8 people opening up 8 bricks. So basically 32 boxes, right? Because there's 64 boxes. There was 64 boxes, 8 bricks, and put them all out there. Just, oh my gosh, that was just crazy. Okay. Yeah, we had a blast. It took like 2.5 hours, and everybody walked out of there happy with monsters and they were fitting a theme, or there were monsters that you like running, or they were just cool things just because they looked cool. And the wonderful thing about it was nobody cared. It was just everybody put them out there, and you just grabbed what you wanted. It was like a smorgasbord of miniatures. It was a lot of fun, and so. There's a lot that you can do that really has nothing to do with the game. That just people who get along and have a good time, and the friends that you've made just do crazy stuff, and you have a good time with it. Yeah, so that's just like one of the things that we've done. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but that's somebody had asked me how can you not get tired of it? It's because there's so much stuff to do, and you're always meeting new people, and you're talking to them, and you're picking your brain, and they're learning things. Kids nowadays learn fast. I mean, Antonio's like an encyclopedia at this point. If you want to know something, sometimes I'll just send you to him because he probably knows it better than I do at this point. I have the mechanics down to a science, but there's a lot of intricacies and techniques that go into building that character just the right way. And his brain just functions in a way that it's like click, 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 click. And I'm like, yep, that sounds good. And then he shows you in the books, and you're like, whoa, that is awesome. So if you ever want to really pick someone's brain and buy him something to drink, buy him a water or a Mountain Dew if he's in the mood for it, and some of those Pockies, and sit down with him for a couple hours, and you'll walk out of an amazing character. Trust me. He's the one I send to help build the characters. For those who have kind of got the game down in that, when they go to the advanced stage, I go, go talk to Antonio. And we set aside time for that. So that's really neat. The other question, how many campaigns do you actually play in? Well, let's see. I play in Antonio's campaign. I play in my friend Billy's campaign. I in Andrew's campaign, and I run a campaign. So I run a campaign. I play in 3 others. There you go. You don't have to do them all at one time, all in 1 week. My campaigns run like once every 6 to 8 weeks. It just depends on when I can get everybody together. Some people are on Zoom. A lot of people are there. Okay, so some of the group is here. Sometimes there's people on Zoom. Maybe there's up to 2 and 3 people on Zoom at a time. If there's a will, wherever there's a will, there's a way. You'll find a way. So that's my campaign. With Andy's campaign, we play it at the house. It's a smaller campaign. Billy's campaign is a smaller campaign. Billy's campaign is in Greyhawk, which is one of the older campaign worlds. We're doing the Temple of Elemental Evil. And Andy's campaign is the Strahd campaign. We're in Barovia running around, in the mists. My campaign takes place on my own world. Antonio's campaign kind of takes place in kind of like sort of the one that he's running here, kind of sort of in the same world as my campaign, because we were interchanging it. So see, you can work with other game masters and do your thing that way too. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot that you can do, and it depends on how much time you have for it. An afternoon, it's a fun time. It's spent with family and friends. So what's more fun than that? You order some pizza, get some drinks, make some macaroni and cheese with ground beef. We'll talk about that someday. I'll put the recipe out there if anybody wants to make it. It's actually really good for a big group of people. Hey, ask any of my players. They'll tell you they love it. It's awesome. But you can buy pizzas. You can just order some pizzas, have them delivered. Buy them ahead of time, put them in the fridge, cook them up from Walmart. So much you can do. It's just a good time had by all. Heck, we have people that don't even play in the game that just come over to watch the game and have fun and laugh. And there you go. That's the magic. What inspired me to build my own world? Well, that's a good question. It's kind of like a twofold thing. I read so many books. I mean, I have a collection at home of like 300 fantasy books plus. Read them all, and I'm still reading. So I love the concept of all these worlds. And of course, I was playing D&D since I was like 10, 11, so a while. And then I decided that one of my aspirations is to write my own trilogy or more, my own series of books. And I was thinking, wow, what if I built a Dungeons and Dragons world, populated it, and then sat there and had players just playing it and see what they did and kind of get inspired off of that. And, because I've had my groups that have played, and that's kind of part of the inspiration. And now I've got this big group of people who are playing, and I'm like, wow, what if I took what that happens to them, and I kind of run them in adventures that are kind of related to what I want to write about, and see how they sit there and react to them. So that's one of the reasons for my inspiration is whatever happens in that game, I kind of have an idea of. No, I'm not writing it down word for word, and I'm not writing it because what I'm going to do is as they play, I see what they're doing, and I already know the theme of the game, that adventure of what is happening to them. But the important part is how they are reacting, what they're doing, and sometimes it's just downright comical. I mean, I cannot wait till I write about the druid who shot the sorceress. I mean, that's just going to be hilarious. Shooting. Okay, so here's the scenario. So they're going to be in they're in this dungeon, and there's this 10-foot hallway, and it's about 60 feet long. And so there's this big fight going on with cultists. And there's like 9 adventures and like 13, 14 cultists that you can see. And the druid's doing crazy. I mean, there's some really inspirational moments. But the best part is when the druid decides, you know what? I'm going to draws her bow, pulls it back, and rolls a 1. And she's shooting in the melee. And of course, the first person in line happens to be the sorceress. So, all right, so see if you hit her accidentally. Plop, there it is. Like I said, there's going to be some humorous points that people are going to go, okay, I can't believe that just happened. But yeah, it really did. It actually really happened in the adventure at that point by that person, and that's the person that got hit. and I'll write it up like that. So yeah, as a writer, I'll add a little bit more fluff and add a little more atmosphere to that moment. But in the end, it's just hilarious. All this serious fighting is going on, all this magic's going on, and here comes this funk. And the sorceress looks, and it's like her druid friend, her party adventure, her party member, fellow adventurer. Yes, it's funny. I know. Maybe as a player, it's not funny, but boy, as a game master and someone who wants to write that into a story, that's hilarious. And those are those moments of levity that you just got to roll with, you know. And some of them got taken down and brought back up, and potions were drank, and swords were swung, and spells were thrown, and wow. But you have to read the book to figure out. Unless you were there, you have to read the book to sit there and figure out what really happened. And that's probably going to be like maybe 1 or 2, 3 chapters in the book, in the first book or something, you know. So yeah. So that's my inspiration right there. And eventually, yeah, that's my goal. I'm gonna, you know, the map's drawn on canvas. I've shown you guys the map. Although I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna redo that map a little bit. You know, as I said, everything evolves, and that's why I've got an idea for my books, and I've kind of made notes, and I got stuff here and there. But I haven't really started because I want to make sure that the world is fleshed out the way I like it. And then the characters are already in it. And that's going to stay the way it is. That's in stone. Whatever happened has happened, and that's not going to, there's no redos. That'll be written up like that, and we're going to have some fun with it. But that's my inspiration. And I keep getting inspired by more players. I mean, there's more players coming every day. So there has to be new authors that come out. I'm going to be one of them, which is why I'm going to school to get a degree in English, so I can be educated and know how to spell the words. Yeah, there is that. But well, look, so it's just 2 days before Christmas. I know all of you are working or trying to get stuff wrapped up, or you know, trying to go out and get that last minute shopping done. So thank you for being here today. I'm going to keep it short. I mean, I'm not going to get into anything crazy, and no questions today. Next week I'm going to talk about what I'm going to plan out, and kind of, I have a pretty good idea of how it's the timeline that it's going to follow. So on a monthly basis, where we're at, and I might add a little something to Dungeon Corner, maybe kind of talk about one of the campaigns that are going in. I mean, I'm looking for ideas. So here I'm going to throw this out there. So in the next week, if you have any ideas of what I should throw into the Dungeon Corner, other than new product that came out or something really cool that's come out, you know, sometimes I put stuff up there that has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons, but that's okay too, because it's fun, right? And so if you guys have any ideas, so John's Dungeon Corner, and then we're gonna have the timeline of the first month. It's already gonna be dedicated to, and I'm gonna do it by the month, just so you know. So some months I'll have like 4 or 5 topics. If there's 5 Fridays, some will only have 4. But it'll be every month will be dedicated to something about Dungeons and Dragons. At least I think for the first 6 months I got it figured out. I might have to bounce that a little bit, balance it out a little bit. So if there's anything you want me to add that you think the Dungeon Corner really needs to talk about, I can give it like its own little section, you know, like the Dungeon Corner now presenting, you know, the Warlock's Lab, where we do all things magical or something, or maybe like the workshop, the Dwarven workshop, where we talk about weapons and stuff. I don't know, something like that. I've been throwing stuff around, but it's got to be something, you know, that can talk about all the way across, not just any one thing. Because spells, I mean, my gosh, just about every character in the game can use spells. So, all right, so that's just something to throw out there, kind of get you thinking a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons, in case you're not playing. And don't forget, every Wednesday at the Collective is Dungeons and Dragons. There's a couple more. Donna just started a new campaign up. It's first level campaign. She got one of the box sets, which is really cool. She's running that as a kickoff to get her going. She's a new game master, so she's been wanting to do it and finally took the leap. Okay, so she's going to be here on Wednesdays doing that. Antonio, of course, is running. And I can't forget. I cannot forget that other gentleman's. I keep forgetting their names. Sarah, do you remember the gentleman's name that runs the other game when Antonio doesn't, and I'm not running one? Do you remember his name? I hope so. But he's here. He's running a homebrew campaign. Antonio's is kind of like a semi homebrew. I am actually I will be starting a new campaign and running my other campaign, but I'll be alternating and running a first level campaign here and there, an ongoing one. It's just kind of like for new players that show up. If there's a nice group of them, I'll set them down and just run that. And then I've also got my other, and both of them are just, straight out, no homebrew, because I want people to learn how the mechanics and the little intricacies of Dungeons and Dragons work before I start throwing stuff at them that, oh, go look over here, go look over there, grab this, grab that, let's put this in there, let's put that in there. Let's not do that. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Enough homebrews out there. There's a couple new campaigns started, so Wednesdays are going to be really exciting. Then, of course, there's the membership party next Thursday, the 29th, 28th. Let's see. 25th, 21st, 31st, 30th. The 28th. Next Thursday, the 28th, is the membership party here at the Collector. I think it's from 6 to 9. I will, I won't be able to tell you about it next week because it'll already be over, but it's next Thursday from 6 to 9. Go on the website, come by the store, and listen, if you got some last minute shopping to do, I'm going to finish up myself. That's the wonderful thing about being here on Fridays. I'm here if I can get something, there you go. All right, and Bob's your uncle. Actually, so all the best to everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Celebrate in your own way, but celebrate and have a good time. So, thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for supporting me throughout the year. And I will see you next Friday here on the Dungeon Corner. Till then, may the road rise up to meet your feet, and may all your adventures be successful. I'll see you next Friday on the Dungeon Corner.